what's up? So now I will begin a new series. You see, I was wondering, what if I reincarnated someone into a universe, let's say? I don't know. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, first I will begin with High School DxD, and also a warning. If you want to watch the series, go to the light novel, because it's... how do I explain it? It has things that you don't want to see. You know, like getting A and stuff. So anyways, let's begin. So we begin our story with our protagonist. His name is Raito. And his last name, nah, whatever. Let's just skip that. So anyways, Raito was coming home and suddenly the truck hit him. That's how he died. When he died, he came to me and he said, nah, I died already. I had a life. I still had a lot. I am barely 17. And I said, don't worry, brah. I will revive you and your favorite enemy. And you have 5 wishes to say. And his eyes became a light bulb. Said, really, brah? Alright, revive me in High School DxD. And I want to have the gaming system. I want it to be connected to all worlds and the fiction will be connected together. And third, I want to be able to buy powers from another enemies. Fourth, I want to have the ability to be able to talk to you anytime I want. And 5, I want to have the ability of Sans and Broly. They said, that's very good, but that's very good setup way. But then he continued, oh no, I mean every version of Sans and Broly. Said, that's even a better wish. Alright, pal, get ready for your reincarnation. And then he was set off the wood and he waked up in his new body and he said, oh hell yeah, now I'm in High School DxD. The first thing I should do is beat up some devils. But then a quest came up to him and said, host, find the skill book. And he said, whatever, let's just find the skill book already. He searched in the house for about an hour. He found a book. It said, do you want to learn the lost art of taekwondo? Yes, no. And he said, of course yes, why not? And then he absorbed it. He gained all the knowledge, but his body wasn't strong enough to do all of them. And he said, well, Maya, this is amazing. And also, that's how he looked. Ignore the Kagen as I want to give him the look of Kaneki. And he said, but why do I look like Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul? Nah, whatever. But white hair is better than blonde hair. Who wants that? And then he started saying, alright, so how much do I have before going to Academy? And the assistant said, 5 days. And he said, that's very good. First let's talk with that guy. And he teleported to me and said, yo. Said, what's up, brah? Like your wishes? And he said, of course I do. Now can you give me a tutorial? What do I do? And I said, of course, yeah. First of all, create a skill that can make a dungeon. Second, create a skill that can escape the dungeon. Third, grind the XP and become stronger. That's it. He just raised an eyebrow. That's it? Really? That's all I had to do? Grind for eternity? Said, of course, yeah. After all, don't you want to be the stronger than Thanos? He said, hell yeah, let's do the shit. And he teleported to the real world. And he said, okay, so I have lot of things. So let's start. Status. And the stat screen came. Said name. Right. Age 17. Race unknown. Strength 6. Vitality 7. And the endurance 18. Dexterity 16. Energy 100. Intelligence 17. Wisdom 17. She said, what the hell? I am not human. Wait, am I a devil? Nah, it would have showed up already. So that means that I am a race that is unknown to this world. Strange. Wait, am I a Saiyan? Nah, a Saiyan should be too powerful. They are already like planet busters. Some of them are already like low planet busters from birth. So my stats should be way high. So what am I? Now whatever, let's just get back to this shit. Then he started putting mana in his hand. Then he said, ID create. ID create is instant dungeon create or instant dimension create. You can control it and create anything in it. But he can create more as he level it up. And he said, awesome, let's go. And then he saw that he was the same and said, what the fuck? Didn't I get teleported to the ID dimension or something? But then his mind calculated it and he said, no way. That means, oh shit. He looked outside and he saw a massive wave of zombies. Sorry, my brother came and he left. So, well, let's start. So, anyways, let's continue. He just was paining right now. All of these thousand zombies versus him, he won't survive. That's what he thought. Then he looked in his inventory and he saw something. It said, blade, covered with mana. Attack damage 550. Gift from the author. And he said, shit, that's very good. So anyway, let's continue before I was interrupted. So, he continued searching the large, and he goes to search for a weapon, and he found nothing but a kitchen knife. I'm joking, he used the sword I give him and slashed down multiple zombies until he reached level 2. And he put 5 points in strength. That was all the points he had. Then he started killing the zombies, shit. And then he started chopping the head off after this and this and this and this. And after about 5 days he gained quite a lot of XP. He reached level, I would say 20. His stats are now all 20, yes. Then he go to the academy. When he reached the academy, the girls look at him and the boys look at him with hatred. After, when he goes to the class, he meets a Say. He says to them, go away, I'm gonna be the king of all girls. And then That was the first, and then he said in his mind, what did I expect from him? He's the king of perverts. Fucking shit. And then he punched him into a wall and he goes away. We're leaving the pervert to his demise. When he reached home, he said, good old home, let's play. Then he goes to his PS4 to play Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. When he reached the game, he saw this. Do you want to learn chakra? Yes. No. And he pressed yes immediately, and he got the information about chakra. He said, shit, this is good. This is real good. God, I will start first by learning the basics, the chakra control. That he goes and he gets a leaf on his head. He started going down and meditating, getting a skill meditation, and also getting a skill called chakra control. After about 5 hours, he gained the chakra. He mastered the leaf exercise, and then he started going to the tree walking exercise. After about a day, he reached a pretty decent level of it. It almost getting the hang of water walking, but nah, that didn't happen. And when he got home, he said, damn, I'm so tired. I was training in chakra every fucking day. What do I fucking do? Then he got an idea. What's about if I treat some fallen angels? And he goes to the street and waited for someone to ask him for a date, and then it happened. Came to him right and said, hello, what do you want? Would you become my brother? And she said in his mind, fuck yes, I finally had the chance to fucking kill her. And he said, okay, what about 1 week later? And she said, of course, why not? When she goes right to left in his mind, and he said in his mind, fuck yeah, she's gonna die. After this, he goes home and started grinding the zombie dungeon like no tomorrow. And then he got a skill that changed his life. It was called the blood consume. When he consumes the blood of someone, he gains their abilities. He won't be erased from them. Like example, if he absorbed the blood of a Saiyan, then he would get the capabilities and abilities of a Saiyan without the weaknesses. So it will be better and more efficient. Just work at the skill, and then he goes to the dungeon. He saw a zombie, and first thought it didn't seem much. They only had low level regen and enhanced the strength. The speed is decreased a lot. Durability was very high, but that still wasn't enough. But with his gamer ability, he won't have the weaknesses. He just worked until he absorbed the blood of one, and then he gained a skill called regeneration. Level 1, XP 0%, passive. Right now, can regenerate a finger in 1 hour. Right, so just looked at this furious. A finger in 1 hour, that won't help me. So my body They will be restricted in years. Fuck you. But then he goes away observing more zombies getting the skill regeneration more and more, and also increasing his stats, and also getting himself 2 extra skills: bloodlust and blood control. And then gave him a zombie that he didn't see him before. And then he looked at him, observing him, and the skill showed up. Observe, level 1, XP 0%. Shows you the enemy stats. He used observe on the zombie, and all he got was the name, the Lincoln zombie. The Lincoln zombie said, "Fucking useless. What do I need by his name? It doesn't matter." The zombie looked down at him and said, had looked down at him, seeing him as a mere ant. Rito was furious at the zombie and said, "Fuck you, big guy. Let's fucking fight." After this, they both began to fight, which was very, very interesting. I think the zombie had the advantage in durability and strength, but I got the advantage in speed and the others by a lot. So he defeated the zombie easily. He claimed the rod, he absorbed his blood, and then he saw that regeneration was now level 20. The blood control was a lot, and he also the bloodlust was a lot, and he also saw that he had a new skill. It was creating things out of his body, not like things like this. No, creating flesh out of his body, like making a tentacle or stuff. He just liked the skill, and he said, "I'm ready for my date." I was already ready before, but now I'm more than fucking ready. He goes to the date and he saw her and he said, "Oh hello, oh hello." Said, "Hello, let's go to the date." They did the date where she actually had some pity on her. And when they finally called, she looked very, very guilty about what she was going to say next. And she, "I'm sorry, but will you lie to me?" Rato just looked away and he said, "Of course, fuck not. Why not live with me? I will free you from your damn leader." And then the thing he came, and he said, "A human can't kill me. Fuck you." And then I said, "No, fuck you." And then he got out his hand and he squeezed the blood in the thing he had and he died. The owner was shocked and said, "You didn't even have to step out to kill me. Just how strong were you?" And the writer said, "Well, I will tell you one thing. I'm not human. I don't know what I am, but still not human. Maybe a race that was not discovered, because I'm not angel or fallen or devil." And Granny said, "Huh, I wonder what you are." To this they go home. He lets her shower and he said, "Okay, shower yourself while I do some business." She said, "Mind telling me what business?" Rito just looked at her and smiled and he said, "Oh, some business with the devil called Curious Creamery. I want to watch her and her group to see their pathetic shits." Then he goes away, leaving the fallen angel wondering why was he stalking that devil. After this, he came to a window and he saw talking with her parents, and she said, "We need to get these two boys on our patch. One is called Raita and the other is called Judo." And then Kiva said, "Okay, so mind telling me how strong is that Raito is? Female Kiba, I mean." She said, "I don't know, but I'm sure that he's not stronger than Konoki. He is not faster than you." And right when the outside was raging, he said in his mind, "What the fuck is this bitch talking about? Right now I can kill them all in a blink. In a blink, I mean." Then he said, "What the fuck ever. I will just leave this fucking assholes alone." Okay, the say is female. I don't know why, but I want to make it. So to make everyone's heart break. When he, you know what. After this, I took up something, lying in the bed, and he said, "Good night." And she said, "Good night, but mind telling me what you heard from them?" He shrugged and he said, nothing special. Just her calculating how strong I am, and she heavily underestimated me. Tell me, like, I'm not stronger than her rock or faster than her knight." And he said, "But of course they will. They won't expect someone they think as a human to be more powerful than them." Then he shrugged and he said, yeah, whatever. I will go to sleep. Good night." Good night. After this, they both go to sleep. When he waked up, he said, "Right, oh yeah, I'm going to the academy. And you probably shouldn't go since the shit of Grimory will probably think that you are crossing territories. I don't know why, but they think that the school are their territory." And I said, "Okay, I will stay here." Then tried to go, and he said before he go, "Oh, and also, if any problem faced you, just press this button." He said, "Look," saying to her that button, and she said, "Why that button?" And he said, "Nothing, just it's a button that can summon something special I had. You don't want to ruin the surprise. You will love, you won't love what will happen to the enemies." Goes away with a devilish smirk. Rainer actually shivers a bit, thinking what he put in the button. When he comes to school and sit there, then female Kiva came and she said, "Excuse me, I want is Isa Huda and try to with me." Isa is female essay. And then Raito just in his mind was saying, "Took these long, low life forms long enough. I actually was getting slightly bored when they didn't came." After this, she takes them with him. They saw a mobile shower, and they said a shower in the club room, and she had actually slight nosebleed. Raito actually raised an eyebrow, and he said in his mind, "Is she a lesbian?" Nah, she probably want a harem full of girls and boys. I should have expected that from the beginning, since this is the ultimate pervert we're talking about. So she is bisexual. After this, Ras came of the word out of the bathroom and she said, "I'm incredibly sorry, but I couldn't shower since I was in your place," he said, pointing at Eve. So, and then Arthur just smirks in his mind and said, "Oh, so the Grimoire really did this. First of all, I should make her look bad in front of anyone, since I don't want this little shit having any advantage over me." And she said, do you two know of supernaturals?" Arthur just said, "Oh, you mean the angels, devils, fallen? Isn't that right? Grimoire, or should I say, the devil Harris of the Grimoire clan, brother of the great Lucifer, or the one that should marry someone called... I won't tell you right now since it will ruin the surprise." Raf's eyes widened and she said, "How do you know that? A human can't know that. You just smirk at them and release your aura." And Raf said, "You think I'm a human? I am not fucking human. I am something worse than the dragons themselves." And they all fall down at the massive aura that you were emitting. And then you stopped it and said, "So listen, rule number one if you don't want to get killed. Don't fuck with me. Rule number two, don't fucking dare to use any fucking shit you like. And the final rule, don't treat the pervert badly." Lisa blushed and she said, "You care about me?" Arthur just shrugged and he said, "Of course no, I don't care. I just don't want you, the one who didn't do anything, to be dead by their shit." Yes said, "Alright, all your rules are accepted. So, why don't you want to join my parish, if you mind?" Then Wright looked at her with a glare. "You think I'm a pitiful shit that will join you just because of your look? I'm not a pervert, Grimoire. I won't join you for your looks and anything else. Even if you offered me the most beautiful thing in the world, I won't join you. I have my pride. I won't be a little servant to your little game called slavery." Jas was shocked and said, "But I treat my servants as family." Arthur just shrugged and he said, "They are still servants. If they didn't obey you, you can command them like they want." Jas wanted to say something but she couldn't. She said, "Fine. But now can you tell me, do you have a secret gear?" Arthur raised an eyebrow and said, "Secret gear? No, I don't have that for now. But when I get one, I will tell you. Not because I am super friendly with you. Nah, because I want you to face the terror of me getting extra powerful." Jas shivered and said, "Oh, alright. Go and do your business. I will talk with Isa now. You just smacked and formed the blood magic into wings and then flied away. And then Isa was annoyed and she said, Supernaturals are real? That means that I am a supernatural too. And then last night she said, yes, you are a devil. Now let me explain. In the devil world, there are the chess system. Each piece has a special power. The knight has speed. The rook has high strength and defense. The bishop has magic affinity. And the queen is a combine of all pieces. And I am the king, the one who commands the purge and one the most powerful in it. Lisa just raised an eyebrow and she said, but you are a female, doesn't that make you a queen? Yes, just shrugged and said, well, if I was called a queen then I would be like a king. So just call me king. Do not make it confusing. Yeah, I saw not and she just started explaining. Alright, so let me explain about that secret gear thing. First, the secret gear is a blessing from God. After he turned the creatures, the dragons, into longest secret gears, the most powerful secret gears, he gave them to humans and they are randomly chosen. And the other secret gears are just created to make humans have blessing. Then you, ma female Kiba, showed her secret gear. This is my secret gear. It's called Swordburst. It allows me to create any sword. From this universe. Yes, I was annoyed and she said, but before she could say, you said, oh no, I meant every devil sword in this universe. Yes, I just found it, she said. Okay, so what about my secret gear? Yes, said, yours the boosted gear. A secret gear made from the red dragon. It can multiply your power every 10 seconds, and then when it reaches the balance breaker, it will multiply your power every second. Right over here, this from the outside was kinda jealous and said, this fucking idiot gets this type of secret gear. Whatever. I will buy a secret gear more powerful than this. I will become the pinnacle of all this existence. Then he goes the way not letting the devils know that he was there. And after he comes home, he looks at her where he was cooking, and he said, hello. She said, hello, dear. Want some my cook? I raised an eyebrow and said, dear, aren't we friends? Rainer just shrugged and said, well, we might be more than that in the future. I just shrugged and said, true, maybe. They sat down eating dinner, conversing about their lives and stuff. After they finished the ride, said, hey, Rainer, you know about the ID create that I told you about? She raised the number. Yeah, why you told me? The smirk and he smirk. Well, you see, I have an idea. Time skip 6 hours. Banner was on the floor, literally on grease, and she said, "Ah, I shouldn't have trusted you when you said to follow you in the ID create dimension." Then Rat had a shit-eating grin and he said, "Well, fuck yeah. At least you got extra powerful. I can tell that by now. Look at your stats. All of them are 30. She said, but that hell wasn't worth it. Reuter just shrugged and got her to bed and said, "Sweet dreams." And he goes away, letting the lights out, and he said, "Alright, so let's see. The ID create should simulate anything, even an encounter with someone. So let's try this." And he created an ID create. He found himself in the forest. He said, "Fuck yeah, that did this." Then he heard a voice. "Who the fuck are you?" He looked around and he saw a Noah ninja. He said, "Fuck yeah, this world I'm in Naruto now." He smirked and he go in behind the Noah ninja. In a flash, he was dead. After this, he heard the battle noise and he smirked. He goes to the place it was, in a tree hiding, and he noticed that he was now 12 years old. He said, "Weird, probably the system simulating my age." But when he looked at this, he was shocked. He saw Kakashi Minato Obito defending against some Owa ninjas, and he saw that the Owa ninjas right now were different from here. They were actually super elites, and they were actually about to kill Obito on this one. And when one of them was about to kill Obito, he suddenly stopped. Then he looked, then he fell down dead, with his head not on his body. When everyone looked, they saw right was his head in his hand, and he said, "Pathetic." He threw the head away. He looked at the three others, and he said, "Let's dance." He created swords, lightning sword with chakra, two lightning katanas with chakra, and then the two things just had sweat on their head. They never seen such a technique before. Such chakra control and shape manipulation can't be created unless it was mastered more than a Rasengan gun should require. But they just cook out two katanas each. But three of them looked at right and they shouted at him in a battle cry. He just smacked responding with using bloodlust, making everyone their heart shiver on their spines. He said, "Let's fucking dance." And they appeared behind them and he slashed at one of them, making a lightning tornado. Slashed at the other, making another lightning tornado. And then he kicked one to a tree where his hands were impaled by a branch. He smacked and he did hands and he said, "Fire style, fire dragon jutsu." And he got on the sky and the ninja said, "Why did you miss me?" Hato just smacked and he said, "You think I missed you because I love you? No, I missed you because I'm gonna give you the worst death of them all." And then he put his hands up with lightning into shape. The one just screamed, begging for mercy, but Naito wasn't having any of it. When he finished shaping it, he said, began with the thunderclap, Kirin. Then he shot the lightning dragon at the other ninja, which the ninja cried out when it hit him, and after this, a very big explosion was thrown in that area, attracting the attention of the hidden leaf village. It was so big that it attracted their attention and other small villages. When this happened, all Hinata looked at Triton and said, "Thanks for helping us." Triton just looked at them and said, "No problem. I will give you an advice. If you saw a rock, then smash it before anything gets wrong, because if you didn't, you will pay for it." Then he disappeared. Kasha was observing him and said, "He probably said that because he knew that the other ninjas will use their chakra to make the rock fall on one of us, killing them." Minato nodded and said, "Indeed, this guy is very special. I want to know why he helped us, but he didn't stay for longer. I want to know why." And after this writer was in real world, and he saw that the time didn't even pass, and he said, "So, time is frozen while I'm already create." The system showed up and said, "No, host, it just slowed down extremely. Like this, 1 month is 1 day." Writer just like and he said, "Holy shit, it's like the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Z, but 10 times weaker." The system's foot dropped at this. It's not even wanting to talk with its host weirdness. After this, he goes to sleep. When he wakes up, he catches the smell of breakfast. And he goes there and he said, "Good morning." And he just said, "Good morning." They saw sat down and eat breakfast. And after the Shiny looked at him and said, "Arthur, I have to tell you an important thing." And she sighed and said, "My teammates are gonna get me. I know that you can defeat him, but the true danger is the faction of the fallen angel. I know you are extremely strong, that you can take the leader out, but I'm not so sure about the entire faction." She had tears in her eyes and said, "I'm sorry, but I have to go. I can't let you die." Arthur just looked at her and he softly smiled. "Nah, don't worry. If I died, at least I died knowing that I had someone that at least showed love to me in my life once." She just smiled and hugged him and said, "Thanks." After this, he goes to school with the girl and looking at him like he was meat. After this, when he came to the cafeteria, he ordered food and he sat down. The just sitting next to him and said, "Can I sit down?" Arthur just glared at her, telling her that to fuck off of his face. She just nodded and went away. And the boys catched this, and the three tough-looking boys came to him and said, "Hey, knock it down. You are insulting Jeff." So just looked at them with sheer disgust said, "You are all just fucking useless shits. You are all sheep. Nothing useful. You all should go away before it gets bloody." The 3 boys didn't listen and they go to fight, but they do their big mistake. Right to lunged against the first one and tapped him, making him crash into the second one. He made a karate slash into the head, holding back a lot of power, making his skull crack. And the third one, he just looked at him, and the third one go away and got the trash can on his face, and then jumped out of the window. When he did that, Rato just smirked and he said, "At least one of them know their place. Maybe he can be a good friend later." Nah, I'm kidding. He still needs to not be a pervert. After that, he sits down, making everyone look at him like I was some sort of monster. Then I was thinking in mind, if I can get him in a purge, then I can defeat Riser. Now the writer was listening to this and he said, "This useless bitch wants," in his mind I mean, "this useless bitch wants to make me a toy to defeat her fucking fiancé. Well, fucking shit, Sherlock. I won't be her toy. Fuck you, yes." After this, he goes to class. The class learning the same subject. Why did he need to even learn it? He know everything. He was way smarter than the teacher. His NT was about 200 and the teacher's was barely under 30. And he was one of the smartest men in the world. That showed how much he was stronger than them. After this, he continued classes learning the same subject. Fucking shit. After this, he goes home and started the Naruto dungeon again. This time, he was on the time when Nobita was about to be crushed on rock, but then he saw that the shinobis this time were not just super elite, they were super ultra elites. They were very close to the Hokage level, which was Hiruzen in his prime. He didn't know how they came here, but he knew that it was plot from the author, because he know that. Don't ask me how. Because I told him. Knowing that it was plot from me, he logged in and Kakashi said, "You again? Why do you always appear out of nowhere?" Naruto just looked at him and said, "Do you want my help or else?" Kakashi just looked down and said, "I'm sorry, okay? I'm not just trusting a stranger I met." Naruto smiled softly and said, "I understand your pain. The last stranger I trusted got me in troubles." And then he remembered from his old world how he trusted a stranger and then the strangers left his arms broken for 2 weeks, for 5 months. Kashi looked at him softly and said, "Okay, sorry for reminding you of that." So just nodded his head and he appeared behind one of them and said, "Want to dance?" The shinobi already know Raito because one of the lightning ninjas had his face in the bingo book. Said, "You are the blood killer, aren't you?" Tried to just raise the eyebrow at this. Said, "The blood killer, huh? I like that name. I will keep it as my nickname." And then he appeared behind them and he cut his head off and said, "Shit, that was very easy." And he goes away, seeing Kakashi very struggling with the other. And then he appeared behind him and cut his head off and said, "Mission done." Kakashi gave them a thumbs up. After this they both heard the sound of a rock smashing. And right to look back, he saw the rock an inch before it touched Obito. After this, he appeared in front of the rock and he lifted it and he said in his mind, "Shit, but now that I saved Obito, how will the timeline continue? He won't unleash the Nine Tails, meaning that the won't have Kurama, meaning that his parents won't die, and meaning also a lot of other things." Jack just shrugged it off, knowing that this would still happen because of plot. That Kurama would be unleashed because of plot. He threw the boulder there 100 meters away. He said, "Shit, that thing was actually kinda heavy. It was at least 5,000 tons. Kashi just only hold the jaw drop. 5,000 tons and it was kinda heavy and he threw it away 100 meters. What was this kid?" Obito then just pat his head, said, "Thanks." Naruto just said, "No problem," and he disappeared. And then Minato came and said, "Are you all okay?" Kasha started explaining everything, and after this Minato just sighed in relief. He didn't know what he would happen if it wasn't for right. So after this he just said, "I just want to know, why doesn't he tell us his name? He saved us many times, 2 times, so we don't have the right to even say you are bad to him." After this, Naruto appeared in his home, said, "Phew, that actually took 0.1 million zero of his sweat to finish this mission. The system's sweat dropped at the insane level of mathematics her host had." I mean, it's so sad. After he finished the mission, I will go to the place of waiting, where he waited until the Grimoires came. Yas was surprised and said, "Why are you here?" Naito just shrugged his hands and he said, "I don't know. I just came here to see how strong the spirit is." Yas just smiled and she said, "Oh well, I will show you how strong my people are." And then a stray devil came. She was named Vice. Vice said, "Oh, I taste something. Is it sweet? Sour? I wonder what it is. Wait, What the fuck are you? You don't smell like any of the factions, and don't smell like a human. Ryder just shrugged and he said, I don't know. I'm a mystery. I want to solve this, but I can't. Ryder just shrugged it off and said, whatever. I'm not going for you. I'm going for the devil because I know that I can't hurt you in any ways. Ryder just sighed in the inside and he said in the inside, at least someone knows their place. It would be a shame that you would get killed. And then this, after this, yes, and Kunoki, go and show him your strength. Then Kunoki go, and she showed them her strength, easily picking the stray devil and smashing it. But then the stray devil came, and she was slow. She was barely fast. She was faster than a human, but still slower than a stray devil. Before Yuma could say, Yumi could say, if her right up here, holding the stray devil's leg, and he said, okay, you little piece of shit, go away and show me the next. Yastra just gave a thumbs up and she called for Yumi to go and show him her speed. She started showing her speed and sword skills by cutting the stray devil and sin. Then Raito looked unimpressed and he said, is that it? Very good speed and enhanced strength and durability, but durability is still fucking low and the strength isn't fucking shit. It's fucking shit. Did you even train her fucking day? Yas just blushed and she said, I didn't train any of them. Raito just mumbled, what a waste of time. Why did I even came here in the first place? I could have been already in the dungeon killing zombies like no tomorrow. Well, when I come back, I will get my anger on a spawn full of Legion zombies. Then Ria set Akin to go, which showed how she fried the stray with her lightning bolts. Rita still looked unimpressed and she said, that's it? Really? Why doesn't she show the strength and speed those two shits have? Ross splashed again and said, well, magic is better than the bet she was taught by right. And she said, fuck you, Ras. You don't know anything about training. Fuck you. You just do your fucking attack so I can get home and unleash my wrath on the Legion zombies. Ras didn't know what he meant by Legion zombies, but she still know that and she put her hand out and used her destruction magic, and she vaporized the stray devil. Right now actually looked kinda impressed, and he said, this weird magic shit can vaporize matter. More like very basic matter manipulation, but it can manipulate matter to turn it into anything. It can only vaporize it. Yes, got confused and she said, but it is the energy of destruction. It can kill anything. Rato just looked at her and he fucking sweat dropped and he said, anything? Are you serious? Do you mean this tiny little ball of barely any matter manipulation can kill the fucking author himself. Yes, yes, I wouldn't. Said, how do you know about the author? It's a secret only that only the strongest of the strongest of the strongest of beings know. And my brother doesn't know about him, but he was told by a being from another universe. Naito just shrugged and he said, well, you can say that me and the author have a decent relationship. We are not really that close, but we still call each other bro. We wouldn't mind hanging out or stuff. Then I appeared and said, absolutely, bruh. Want a bra handshake? We did the bra handshake. And I disappeared, leaving Rose stunned. That that right now Raito was a friend of the author. She said, unbelievable. He became a friend of a being so powerful that it barely had any match. That it had no match. How? Raito just shrugged and he said, well, I don't know. Now me and the author are bros. Goodbye. Our bros and hands. Goodbye. And he goes away, leaving the devils all stunned expect his, and she said, who's the author? Just said, alright, he's a history lesson. The author is a very, very, very powerful being that has surpassed the likes of something called omnipotence, making him able to create anything, but the beings that way surpassed omnipotence are no match for him. He surpassed omnipotence to the point that he can create the omnipotent lives on the scale of multiverse he has easily without even breaking a sweat. And his favorite friend is someone unknown, but it was said that he was also one of his creations and he was far, far, far stronger than him. Lisa just paled and she said, really? That's very, very interesting. That's very, very awesome. If I got the author to give me if I get the author to give me a harem, I can become the harem goddess. Everyone just swould dropped. Even I swould drop at the idiocy of this young shit. And then I took him and swould dropped and said, what the fuck have I done with myself when I said go to this fucking universe? And he goes away, leaving everyone wondering why did he say that. After he got away, he saw something that he wouldn't like to see. He saw the teammates of Nari waiting for her and having her kidnapped on a chair with that. Said, oh, that's how we play it now, fucks. Want to dance? And then he came, they then had the man with red eyes, and then suddenly a Kagane spat out of his back. He said, wow, so I look like Kaneki for a reason. Then he saw this. Ghoul race unlocked. Ghoul race unlocked. Purity 1%. Strength, all stats are doubled by 100. Well, I mean by 5. I want to make him kinda OP. Now can use Gagne, all types. all types. Regeneration is increased very big, and the power is very good. Now go. Right to just smack, and he got all the cognitions in them, and they all died. Then he looked at Ray and said, "Ah, don't worry, I will free you." And he freed her, and she hugged him and said, "Thank you." He just kind of flushed, and he said, "Eh, whatever. Whatever. You're my friend anyways." And then he got annoyed at that she still thinks of her as only a friend. Said, "Oh, for God's sake, Kryto, why don't you think of me as more than a friend?" Right? Just raised an eyebrow. Said, "Isn't a friend enough? Then what about best friend?" Said, "No, closer, closer, like dating or stuff." I thought just raised an eyebrow. Dating? That that thing isn't for me. I don't really know anything about dating. So if you dated me, you would have the worst date in your life. He said, "What I care about is that you true love." He said, whatever. And he goes to sleep, and he also goes to sleep. After this, they wake up, and Red said, "Listen, Rainer, I want to tell you something." He said, "What?" He sighed, and he said, "Listen, I will, how do I say it? I will not be here for 3 days." She raised her arm and she said, "But why?" I just said, "I have a very important business to fix." And by fix, I mean fix by blood. Ranija looked toward and said, "Is it really that dangerous?" And Raito just nodded and said, "Very, very dangerous. I doubt that I doubt that a heavenly dragon can even manage to survive the mission." She looked more worried and she said, "Please, just come alive." He just said, "I will." He goes away to do his mission. After this, he reached a base full of gangsters. Not normal gangsters, different gangsters. When he got in, he said, "Ah, look like you have been busy. Now tell me, why did you do that to them?" Then the figure came out. It was the leader of the ghoul hunting group in Tokyo Ghoul. They said, "Oh, you finally found me, huh? You resemble King Kanuki. Maybe part of his blood line. Who knows? But don't worry. I didn't kill your brother, and I didn't kill your little sister. In fact, I only kept her caged. She really has a face to be admired." Raito just scoffed and said, "Don't you fucking dare to touch her face, you fucking moron. If you did, then I swear to God I will shove any kind, and I swear to God I will kill you." The leader laughed and he said, "Seriously, you're only a ghoul. You're nothing but a pathetic monster. You can't kill me." I thought just smacked and he said, "Oh really? and then he punched an artifact that had the blood of the strongest ghouls, and then he absorbed it. He said, yes, the power, the fucking power. And then the ghoul bloodline purity reached 99%. The multiplier was now 500. He said, fuck you, shits. And then he go into his cockadoo mood. The leader was now scared and said, cockadoo? No, that is unheard of. A ghoul able to absorb the DNA of any being and gain the power. That's interesting. An evolution that can make ghouls the strongest creatures in the universe. Maybe even the omniverse. Writer just looked at him and said, you won't be laughing when I get your fucking head off. And he appeared behind him about to punish him, but then he was met by a very sharp sword that actually pained a little. The leader said, what? Think that I would foolishly invite a ghoul as powerful as you without a backup plan? This sword is made of normal mahogany metal and also mixed with vibranium, adamantium, and other very powerful metals. And then Roto was shocked and he said, impossible. Where did you get all this metal from? Vibranium is one in Wakanda, adamantium is another story, and Oro, the steel of God, is in Asgard. How did you get these shits from? The leader just giggled and he said, let's just say that we worked with Sorry guys, I had a little bit of an issue with that. Now let's continue. As he was saying, he said, we worked with the god of this to create a metal that can kill other gods. Well then, after he said that, everyone was saying, interesting. A metal that can kill gods. That should be more than enough to make me able to do the evolution. The leader just raised an eyebrow and said, evolution? What are you talking about? Raito then took the sword away from him and said, well, you see, I figured out that I can mix anything in me. I will mix this with my blood. I wonder what kind of evolution will happen. The leader's eyes twitched in fear, and he said, no! But it was too late. Right already, he had mixed the sword with his blood. After this, his stats were multiplied by 5 million. Damn, I talked too long. Anyways, let's continue. So as I was saying, he absorbed and he had 5 millions for all his stats. Now, and he also had a new ability. That ability was called Deathbringer. Whenever he touches something, his soul will disintegrate. So after this, he killed the leader and he goes killing everyone. Which actually they had a lot of the souls and also prototype versions, which actually kinda hurt now, which he mixed also making him stronger. After about 3 days he came back to Rainier and said, I'm back. Rainier was shocked at the bruises and the things. Yes, even if he had no instant regen, the bruises were from the metal that make his regeneration way slower. He said, oh my gosh, what happened to you? He just shocked and he said, nothing. Fighted a group that kept my race away for a long, long time. And I also figured out. Really, what is it? I just said a ghoul. Finally, no years now, and she said, a ghoul? I thought they were extinct. Later shrugged and he said, yeah, but that was only shits from society to not make people scared. Well, at first I thought so, but turns out it was not to make them suspicious. They were experimenting on them more and more to have more powerful materials and weapons on their hand. Truly a disgusting shit this race has become. Rainer just nodded and she said, true. The first thing that believes this is how males act when they see a female. Later just nodded and said, yeah, it's disgusting. Let's now train. He had a shit-eating grin. She was scared right now and she said, oh hell no. After this, a hellish training later. Then he was told by Grass to come to a baseball competition. And he said, what's so special about this fucking game if it didn't have magic? Yumi just nodded and she said, indeed, they are gonna use magic. Arthur just shocked and he said, as I thought, they are physically not that stronger. Well, that goes for yeah, and so on. No, but they are gonna use magic to replace this shit. Yumi just nodded and she said, indeed. The president is very strict about using magic in front of people. But she looked at males who were just staring at the private areas. Then she shivered and continued, there are perverts everywhere. Michael just nodded and said, indeed, humans are perverts. Canuck said, and why do you say that? Aren't you a human? Titan just looked at him and said, "Fuck no, I'm a ghoul." They both jaw dropped, jaw dropped. And he wondered and said, "A ghoul? What is a ghoul?" Yumi said, "Well, listen, before the three factions came, there were creatures called ghouls. They were extremely powerful. They were super strong, super tough, super fast, super durable, and their regeneration was insane. They also had things that sprout out of the back called cognites. They were able to kill dragons. The powerful one were able to kill them. Then after this, humans came with cognites from weird metals that can harm the ghoul and actually kill them. Yes, that's not what she said. And Dad said, "Alright, I'm bored. Why do you have here?" He said, "Oh, come on. It's not that bad." Raito pointed a finger at them and all of the parrots looked with dropped as they saw the females running away from the ball. And then Yumi just went up and said, "I can't believe you, President. You betrayed me at the moment I thought that this was gonna be good." Right then go away and said, "Alright, I'm gonna go away." After this he goes away, and then after this he was invited to a dodgeball game and said, "Why the fuck now do I have to watch a dodgeball game?" I said, "Well, you are the only one that isn't a devil that knows about." And if we got humans here, it would be annoying to erase their memories later. I just twitched. His eyes just twitched and he said, "Okay, but can you tell me why the author for..." His eyes just twitched and he said in his mind, "Okay, but can you tell me why did you author forget about Asia?" I just shocked and he said, I forget that part. She is with them, happy." I just shocked and he said, "I don't care." After this he watched us. He has won the game. And after this he goes home and he was invited by us to the familiar forest, and he said, "So that's why you were playing the stupid games for a fucking forest? Why can't you devils just share one thing for a fucking time?" Yasha shrugged and he said, "Being another one's territory is heavily frowned at in the devil's territory, the devil's society." I just shrugged and said, "Alright, fuck. Tell me, familiar master, where do I find the strongest familiar ever?" The familiar master said, "Oh, you're meaning Tiamat, the strongest of the 5 dragon kings." The first female dragon is to be a dragon king. Writer just said, interesting. I will go and find this demon shit. He disappeared and appeared behind Demon and he said, you fucking shit, fight me. She looked at him and she said, a ghoul, fuck off. You and your race were supposed to be in hell. I said, but devils live in hell. They wouldn't share with it with us. They are so greedy, you forgot. And we are in hell already, you fuck. She just shrugged and said, whatever. Whatever, I mean you were supposed to be dead with your race. Writer said, well shit, luck, fuck you. He appeared behind her and he bitch slapped her and she became his familiar. And he returned with her in a dark robe and he said, welcome my new familiar. The fucking strongest dragon king. And she crawled and she said, I hate you. Arthur just looked at her and said, excuse me, what did you say? She just said, nothing, nothing. Fuck you, master. Arthur then smiled. Fuck you too. Then they both returned to home. When I come home, he turned to home, of course not before him, turning her small with the power of Ant-Man he bought. He goes to Rainer and said, hello, said to him, right, we are developing a relationship here. Why don't we do it? I just raised an eyebrow and said, what do you mean? He said, you know, making out. Roger just eyes twitched and he said, you mean the process of having children? He said, yes. Roger just shrugged and he said, okay, I don't care. But whatever, let's just develop our relationship. After this, they do their own thing. And after this, he asked him to his home and she saw him lying in the bed naked. And she said, what about me? And I tossed after when she said that and said, go the fuck away. Make out with these. She shrugged it and she said, okay. After this, she go and tell Lisa to make out with her, but the same as Canon. After this, it came to their house. And the rating games stayed the same. And to not lose his sister, Sarah said, Rise, you can get my sister only if you can defeat a ghoul. Riser's eyes twitched and he said, Johanna, How can I defeat a goal? And where do I find it from the beginning? So I just want to say some, but then I appeared. But then Raito appeared. Said, your problem is fucking solved. He showed his Kagane and said, fuck you and fight me. Eyes are pale and he said, I give up. After this Raito split and he said, alright, fuck. My wishes. The first wish, fuck you all. The second wish, the fucking Grimory will not marry this fucking asshole, but if she wants to not marry him, then she will have to give her territory to Riser. The third fucking wish, if any of you bitches follow me, then I will return your bodies in a box. Understood? Oh, the devil's rod. And then he goes away. So I leave the grass up bitch said, oh yeah, thank you. Fuck you. Then he goes away. Had a family was in here and the end. Marry each other and the end. That's it. I don't want to continue anymore, and also my voice. It's getting very hard to say anything.